Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Jodi Schultz here with Source Mortgage Center, and I'm so happy I'm joined here today with Susan Kramer, who's a licensed realtor with Coldwell Banker. So, Susan, thank you so much for taking the time today to be here with me.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Jodi.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So the reason I want to have Susan on today is I'm getting loads of questions from both buyers and sellers about, is it the right time for me to look at buying and or selling my real estate? And I thought Susan, being the expert as a realtor in Central Alberta, was the right person to sort of ask this question to. So Susan, can you let us know what you're seeing currently in the market and what you think?
Sure. This is really a good question, Jodi. People often assume that there's a one-size-fits-all answer to this question, and there isn't. It's really very personal, and it's a complex decision because there's lots of factors that factor into the decision-making process.
Absolutely.
So, for example, it could be things like the real estate market conditions, interest rates, buyer or seller's personal finance, or individual goals. They all play into this complex decision. So the real estate market, you may be hearing that it's highly unpredictable, and it really is. And it's also not universal across Canada. So often what we hear in the news is really referencing Toronto or BC. It's not referencing what's going on here in our local market. And it's really only a local realtor who can help you best to figure out what is going on within our marketplace.
Absolutely.
Makes
sense.
And what we're experiencing right now here in Central Alberta is a very low inventory. And there's lots of reasons for that. But right now we have more buyers than we have sellers. And sometimes they call that a seller's market. But that's the situation we're in right now. So sellers are able to get slightly higher prices than maybe what we've seen historically. And there's just no inventory. So when some people do find houses that are good in a good location, they snap up like right away, and sometimes with multiple offer as well. So that's the kind of market that we're seeing right now. But when we look at those decisions that we have to make as individuals about whether or not we want to buy or sell, if we take it right back to the bare bones, interest rates really can affect both sellers and buyers. And sellers don't often think, well, I'm selling, it shouldn't affect me. But it does, because there may not be as many buyers who can actually qualify for that slightly higher interest rate to be able to make a purchase. And then from the buyer perspective, of course, they have to take into consideration that they may not be able to purchase as high a list priced valued property as they could have historically when prices were lower. So it's just things that have to feed in that you have to think about. And then on top of that, we have personal and financial goals to consider too. And these would be things like, am I tired of paying rent to a landlord? Would I really rather pay myself and build up equity in a home?
Absolutely.
Am I at a stage in my life where I really am trying to grow my financial growth as opposed to maybe owning something? Or maybe your portfolio of financial growth is going to include a home that's going to help it grow. Am I at a stage in life where really I'd rather focus on travel? So you need to really consider, am I ready to buy? And if I'm ready to buy, what else do I need to think about? And one of the other things might be your individual goals. So this could be things like, the kids are out of the house now. We had this massive home when we had a big family. Now that it's just you and I, we really should be downsizing because there's just too much house to take care of. That's an individual decision. Relocating for a job transfer, changes in health, or maybe a change in your family dynamic. And that could be a divorce. It could be marriage. It could be the birth of a new child. Lots of things factor into the decisions that you make to buy a home. So hopefully the only ones who can decide and that have access to all that information is you as the individual, whether you're the buyer or the seller. It may sound daunting. It may sound daunting, but really, if you get the help of a good mortgage broker and a good real estate agent, we can help you through this whole process.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So I guess after all of that, the answer is it's never the right time. You can't time when the right time is to buy or sell.
It's not right. It's the time that's correct for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So very good information, Susan. And I've got Susan's contact information below. If anyone wants to reach out to her with more questions regarding real estate in Central Alberta, feel free to reach out to her. And any comments or questions, just leave it below and we'll be happy to get back to you right away. Thanks again,
Jodi.
Susan. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a great day.
You too. Bye.